Hey guys. Hey guys, it's Mommy Cass with Mommy Cass's Reborn. Actually, whoa, wait a second. I'm saying the name of my other channel. I have another channel. I'm not gonna say the name. This is Cassie with VIP, VIP Music and Arts. My other channel is a doll making channel, so that's why my name is. Yeah. But this one's just for art and music. And we're making a hammer dulcimer. 4/7. So this is some of the decorations on it that I've done, wood burning. And those are from like coloring books and stuff, but I've modified the designs slightly on quite a few of them. So they're not quite the same image that was in there, but very similar. Um, so now that we've done that, I have to cut out this template because this is gonna tell me where to drill the holes on my instrument. So I'm trying to find some darn scissors. Here we go. Found some. And then this is my wood burning tool, and we're done with that for now. So put that down. So let me see. I have to have like a pencil. No, that one's not gonna work. There. All right. So I've been having a hard time with this project. I don't know if you guys. In a sec. Oh God. Now I know what this was for. This is not for what I'm doing. I don't know. All right. So now I'm just gonna what I like to do is when I'm going through the stuff, I like to build the world a home and make hammer dulcimers. Oh boy. Now this is time to autograph and date your work. Yes, it already did that. That's like putting a label inside of it and stuff like that. It's a good idea to seal the wood inside of your instrument. I did that. We're now ready to glue on the top. We already did that. There are many ways to cut off the excess material to top and bottom. All right, so there's like an excess material. This kit is from Grassroots. There are excess material on the top and the bottom, and I'll just explain that you really need, I would say, this thing called a router to. There's other ways to do it, but pretty much the good way to do it is have a router. But routers are very dangerous, so I brought it to a workshop, a community workshop, to have them do it for me. So what? She talks in her sleep. I have found the router with a straight veneer trimming works. Okay, yeah. All right, a belt sander. We don't need a belt sander. We don't need this stuff because I already did this. You can use a handsaw as well, but Ariana, what are you saying? What? What are you saying? How's Aura, Ariana?
I'm not gonna update it, but like it's gonna be a terrible drive.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's gray and cloudy and wet.
It's gray, cloudy, and wet.
Yes, it looks like some snow.
Are you going to bring an umbrella?
I have one driven too much. I really want to drive. I'm not. It's like the slow gray or something wheels and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you going to wear a snowsuit? No.
No, I can't live in a snowsuit.
But you should probably do that because there's like 3 feet of snow outside.
I can't move in my snowsuit to be able to drive and turn the wheel and stuff.
Well, you're going to just have to try a little harder. I'll drive. I'm a really good driver, though.
Well, if you're the kind of person who's going to drive me all the way back up north and then come all the way back to your house.
Nope.
But yeah, exactly.
You're just going to have to live here forever.
It goes from what, see, it goes from one part. Don't live here forever.
She's sleeping, guys. I had a whole conversation. It's weird. Oh my god, Ariana, Aura just ate all the finger paint. Now she's gonna poop rainbows. What do we do? She goes, oh, I don't know. I'm not picking it up. You've got to. Oh, it's all purple. Yellow. And green. She goes, don't mess with me. Sorry. All right. All right. So we have to cut it. There's like a diagram. It's hard. There's a left and a right. It's like that. I'm gonna cut it. Hey, Carol. I sure am. Well, she can talk in her sleep. I've never seen anything like it. Like, she can have a full conversation while she's sleeping, guys. I can't help it. I am teasing her. Don't worry, it's fine. I'm just giving her an it's like cool. It's cool though. She's like able to like talk completely. She told me she's not wearing a snowsuit because she won't be able to turn the steering wheel to be too big to wear it. I'll leave her alone, guys. That was kind of mean. But it's just really cool. I mean, she did ask me to get her on tape doing it so she could see later. So she did ask. She gave me permission. So I'm not asking any deep questions here. No, she gave me permission. She told me before to catch it on YouTube. She did. She already, like, I swear she won't be mad. I didn't ask her anything real pressing. So, just joking around. Anyways. It was funny. She's like, she even in her sleep, she knows I'm messing with her. She's like, stop messing with me. Like, oh, this isn't as much fun as I thought it was gonna be. Oh my god. Like, she is just a very unusual person. Like, most people can't. I mean, she literally is very talkative in her sleep all night long. Like literally, you're hearing. I mean, she's literally having coherent, full conversations with like herself in her dreams all night long. Like, literally sometimes like you want to help her because she starts getting really upset and she's like, you know, like very loud, like yelling at people and everything else, screaming. You can't wake her up like that because it's you know, you want to be careful because she's working things out. So you don't want to wake her up, but at the same time, it's kind of like, I don't know, because I like when you have somebody who's like sleepwalking, you're not supposed to like wake them or something. But like, so I would assume it's a lot the same because she's like literally having full conversations and stuff. It's really weird. So I've never seen anything like it. It's really interesting. All right, here. I'm gonna do 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 do. I like when my dog dreams because her little paws move back and forth. Like she's running. And she talks in her sleep. She goes, oof, 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 oof. Right, Olivia? I like that. It's funny. I try to catch her doing it so you guys get to see her puppy dreams because they're so cute. My dog just looks kind of ordinary. All right. I don't know. I think I'm supposed to like cut along the dotted lines. Place on top of the dulcimer at the front and left edges. Okay. Well, this is another dotted line here, so I'm probably supposed to cut that too. Do 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 do. Hopefully the project will go faster now, guys. No. So this is actually paper. It's like a template for where I put the pins, these pins. So that's what that is. So these are like different pins and stuff. And this is a template for where, because the holes are not drilled for me, I have to drill the holes myself. That's a lot of work. So yeah, I have to drill them like on my own self, my own. So that's what has to happen. So, and okay, so I'll just give you guys a rundown of where we're at and what needs to happen still. So these things here need to be sanded, and we're gonna do a light purple on this hammer dulcimer stain. So the stain's gonna be like a light purple, and it's gonna be like, you know, the top is gonna be a natural wood color, the color it is, but the rest of the wood is gonna be a light purple stain. I've never seen any hammer dulcimers like the ones I make. So they're very unique. Hey Astral, how are you? Welcome. So we're just making hammer dulcimers in the morning. How's everybody's Labor Day, by the way? Happy Labor Day, everybody. Is that the right greeting for Labor Day? What is Labor Day celebrating, guys? I'm sorry. Everybody's gonna think I'm stupid, but I went to public school and they didn't teach us. So can somebody let me know what Labor Day is celebrating? Because it might be a somber holiday. I don't know if it is. I'm sorry. Like, oh my gosh, sorry. So anyways, I don't know. I hope it's a good one. I thought maybe, because I do recall there was fireworks on Labor Day. That's not a sad holiday then, right? I don't know. All right. Well, I would just like to know. Oh, thank you. It's fun. I recommend people could try stuff like this, but it is frustrating, kind of infuriating sometimes because like it can be hard. Wait. Is this that's left? Okay. Hold on. I don't know which way is top and which way is bottom. Like that's the thing about these. Like how do you know? Cut along the dotted lines, place on top of the dulcimer at the front and left edges. Well, that makes no sense. Oh, maybe. See, I'm trying to figure out which way this goes. Does it go like that, or does it go like this? Right? But then that looks upside down. What's the orientation? Oh my goodness. Well, that's the first one up there. That makes sense. I don't want to screw it up, guys. Like, oh, it's hard. The directions need to be more specific. Oh God, I don't know. It's so tough. Yeah. I feel that way too. After I don't know if I told you guys, after I got Grampy Pat his ukulele, he bought like all these other ukuleles and he's playing like every day now. It's so funny. I'm gonna try to see if I can. I don't know if this like thing gives me a further diagram. Labor Day is an annual celebration of workers and the labor force's achievements. Oh, okay. The idea to recognize and honor the. I thought it was a patriotic holiday, but I guess it would be because it's honoring the hard work and industriousness of like the nation, I guess, technically. No. You're not too old. Nobody's too old to take up a craft. Or is having a dream. Look at her little paw. Puppy dreams. All right, I'm really struggling with this. This is like really hard. Well, I'm looking at this picture and it looks like I don't know. I'm going to look at some of their other dulcimers in a picture and then try to figure it out. So they are called grassroots hammered dulcimer kits. images. Maybe I should like go to their actual site. Ugh. I almost just like want to call the guy, but that's not appropriate on a holiday. Like, do not stop right there. So I'm not looking for his kits. I'm looking for his finished hammered dulcimers so that I can compare the hitch pins and all the pins and see, okay, what am I doing wrong? Because he has like, there's literally like 3 lines here. Okay, I'm really confused with that. So I'm looking for 15 something. Oh, that's not good. I'm so confused. Why? Ugh. Oh, wait, that makes sense. Oh, I see how it is now. That makes sense. Okay. But then this other side is totally weird. It's totally different. Okay. So confused. I really need more pictures here. So I did buy a table because my teacher was like, "Hey, you need to buy a table for your hammer dulcimer." So we are going to be building a table. See how this goes, guys. It's never ending. It's like I'm trying to zero in on what the sides look like so I can have an idea. I'm having a hard time. So this is from Grassroots. Yeah, it's too blurry to... I'm trying to figure out why this is so much different than that. It says left dotted lines place on top of the dulcimer at the left edges. I don't know if I'm like doing it wrong at all. Oh no, that makes like no sense. Okay. Yeah, that would make no sense because that would push your line in like super far. Okay, so what I did was right. Yeah. And then that, yeah, I did it right. Holy cow. Okay, we're good. Now I'm going to have to go find some tape, which is, somewhere. Position the diagram. Center the X marks between the front and the back sides. Between the front and the back sides. I don't know what they're talking about. What X marks? Okay. Masking tape. Okay. With your awl, poke holes in the diagram into the dulcimer where the X's are. Those aren't X's, but okay. Using a drill, 9/64-bit, drill the center rows holes for hitch pins. Slant the hole slightly about 5 degrees. I don't know how much is 5 degrees. Away from the center of the dulcimer. Oh my god, they're so confusing. Oh, all right, let's go ahead and get some tape, guys. Are you guys going to see any parades or anything fun today? I'm not. I did like a lot of shopping yesterday. I'm probably gonna try to clean up this place a little bit so Kathy doesn't freak out when she gets here. So I have to find some tape, which is missing. I think I have some in here. Nope. Stop. I only have duct tape. That's lovely. I misplaced my tape. I'm just gonna have to use what I have. I don't know where it went. It's gonna rain all day. I'm probably gonna. I want to go out to eat, but you know it's gonna be busy. I like to eat out. You know, for breakfast, I like to go to IHOP. My favorite. IHOP. So this is. Let's see. Like, this is the only tape I have in the house right now because I've lost the other tape. Like, let me... Alexa, drop into Bodhi's Echo Show. Hey, Pat. Hey, Pat. Bodhi! Bodhi. 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 Oh, boy. Well, just put, like, you know, I have to put it over like this, like. Oh. Howdy. Oh, guys. Alexa, hang up. I think Pat's at work. I don't think he got the day off. Alexa, hang up. I don't think he got the day off. Aw, I'm so hungry right now. Oh, guys. I was so excited about having some ham. I know that's weird, but I really like ham in the morning with other foods. But now the dream is just a fleeting thought. There. All right. I have to put one like there just to make sure. I would not recommend this tape. It's only because I can't find my regular tape. I don't know where it went. So it's going to suck if I have to use this like throughout the whole project. That would be awful, frankly. All right. Now we do the same to the next one. Insane in the brain. Insane in the brain. All right. Do 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 do. There. Oh, man. All right. I'm going to tape down that. I'm a little nervous about the whole drilling part. 1 1/4 inch deep. I'll measure. There. One more tape over there. It'll be good. So then we take our awl after this, and I'll show you what. Let's see. I don't know, guys. I'm craving salty foods. Like, I need a hash brown from, like, McDonald's at the very least. All right. So here's what we do. We take this instrument here. It's called an awl. And we find where the X's are where it's supposed to be. And then like mark it like that. That's what I'm thinking. See? There we go. This is where the drills are going to go in. So put the pins and stuff. I wish they would. You know what? It makes more sense that they would have just done it for you. Be easier. You know? Like, okay. But no, like, we're gonna make you do it yourself. Teach you a lesson. That will teach you never to buy a $300 kit to make your road. Just spend the extra $200 so we can build it for you. Especially if you don't have the tools, like Cassie. You have no idea what you're doing. You don't want to do this part. You probably don't want to do it this way. That one's a little sticky. Wait. Ooh, it's so hard. Alright. It's really important I get this exactly right, or else it's going to be too hard to tune it. It's not going to sound right if you do it wrong. So, and then, I mean, they have to be angled. They have to go in at an angle, which, first of all, my drilling skills aren't very, I just learned how to use the drill like 2 days ago. So, I don't feel all too confident that this is going to be a good thing, but we'll give it a try, I guess. I'm thinking of making the stand for it pink, because pink's my favorite color, but you have to be right on the right spot. No, would I recommend doing this thing? If you don't have a workshop, probably not. You really need, you can do most of it yourself. I mean, is it doable? Could you do it in an apartment setting? Yes, technically. If you would not be able to use a router. You would have to use like a handsaw. It would take longer. But if you had some skills in carpentry, yeah, go ahead. But I'm going to be honest, it doesn't save any money after you put all the money in it to buy all your paint and all your stuff, or all your stains and all of your everything. It doesn't really save money. Okay, I did it this way because I thought I was saving money, and I realized I didn't really save much at all. It's not worth the aggravation. Like, just go ahead and buy a finished product at that point. Not to discourage anybody, because it's a fun project if you're up for it, but it's just a pain in the ass, frankly. You really should get something that already has, especially if you're gonna the story behind this instrument and why I ended up with this instrument was because there's this guy and he teaches classes in how to make these kind of hammered dulcimers. Not make them, but how to I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. How to play hammered dulcimers. So he has a very specific program that he developed, and you really need a certain kind of dulcimer to do it. Like you need a big dulcimer, you cannot have a small one. And I didn't realize that. He did try to explain it to me, like, if you're going to come to this retreat, you're going to have. He sent me the book that he wrote, and I looked at it, and it was one of the best I've seen, but at the same time, it was very complicated, and it, escalated quickly or whatever. Like, it went from, like, super easy to really complicated pretty quickly and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, like, am I dense or something? No, apparently he just has a very complicated book. And you really need to have at least a 15-14 size hammer dulcimer to join in on whatever he's doing at his retreats. So, or his classes. So I'm not going to be able to do his workshops or classes unless I have this kind of instrument. So I was like, okay, like, I had a smaller ones, but those weren't good. So I was like, at that point, I'm like, I don't want to spend any more, money, so I went ahead and, I tried to get this one. And thinking if I got this kit, it would be easier, or, because financially, make it easy on myself. So that's what I did. And, and I said, hey, in 2 weeks it will be finished, whatever. And I intend to finish it and have a working instrument that's tunable in like 2 weeks. He asked me, well, is that a kit? And I'm like, yes. I don't know. I think there's like this doubtfulness when you say you're going to make something and people don't know you, that you follow through with things like that. Because they probably think, oh yeah, the kit's going to be sitting in somebody's garage. Like, yeah, like, I don't know. I just get that sense that people think like that you might not be able to come up with something playable, which is a possibility, but I'm really intent on making this one work. So hopefully it will. But everything hinges on my ability as somebody who has literally no carpentry skills to be able to pull it off in order to take these kind of workshops. And so I found a teacher who was the person that got me interested in dulcimers in the first place. She was a street performer. And, I really liked her. So I found her, and she's okay with any size dulcimer that I could have. And I wish I would have never gotten this one, frankly, because, it was expensive and whatever, but we'll see. I'm just going to make the best of it. All right. Now I want to see how that looks. So I think I'm going to pull the tape up and see underneath if it came out. So let's just look. So yeah, so I found a different way. Yep, I see the holes here. They're not perfect, frankly, but I think they'll be okay. You can adjust your drilling. Yeah, I see the holes. Good. No, I did all of them. Yep, they're all there. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but basically, but anyway, sometimes, people want to be helpful, and I don't know, here's the deal. I don't know how to say it, but sometimes, like, I need to do a little bit more wood burning on here. I missed a few spots. Sometimes I think that, like when you meet, I'll give you an example. One time I had Olivia, and we saw a group of people training their dogs, and I decided to go over to them and introduce myself because they are in, they're in the area where I am, and I thought it would be fun to connect and get to know maybe this place. So I went over there, and I was like, hey, and I brought Olivia over because I'm proud of her, and she's very well behaved. And I said, oh, she's my service dog, and I was like, where do you guys train out of? Like, do you do classes? Like, thinking of taking some classes here and there. Like, do they have something to offer in the nearby area that might be interesting to us, whatever they're offering? Well, no, come on. That's enough. Go over there. So basically, they acted very, like, kind of, like, he would not tell me at all. Like, he was trying to discourage me from, taking classes. And I wasn't wearing very nice clothes, but all of them were wearing, like, the most fanciest gear for dog training, which I think is really funny because, like, you don't need fancy clothes or fancy, anything to be a good dog trainer, first of all. And, this is the sacrifice I've made for my art, is that, and I need to remember that, is that, like, in order to do the stuff that I want to do, I don't wear the most fancy clothes and stuff. And, I wear comfortable stuff, and they just very discouraging, and, and like, if somebody wants you to have, like, a special instrument that costs a ton of money, or if somebody wants you to, like, somehow, in order to be part of their clique or whatever, to have to wear certain things, or, get certain things that you are having a hard time obtaining, and they're not willing, they're inflexible to try to figure out how, and you're doing everything you can to reach that goal. No, I'm not saying that was the case but it kind of felt similar to me, because, like, the more that I built this dulcimer, the more I meditated on the fact that whatever I had already was good, and that it just wasn't a good fit for me as far as a class goes, per se, because of the fact that, it's very specific financially. It's very burdensome to expect that you get the most expensive, latest, greatest stuff. And I started to think that. Like, I started to be like, hey, you know what? Your money's green. Hey, Dulcidora, how are you? So I kind of thought, you know what? I am going to take from this person lessons from this person who I met, who inspired me when I was 17 to someday try hammer dulcimer. It took me till I'm almost 40, but she was the catalyst to me being interested, and my whole life trying to move in the direction of doing this. And she's happy with whatever I have, and she's helpful as far as, I'm pretty good. How are you? Like, I felt that the initial guy that I was going to get in doing stuff with, was kind of like saying the kits aren't good enough and they don't sound great. But, she understood the situation, and she was like, wasn't like turning me away or giving me the not want for only having so much. And maybe my perception is wrong here, but I got this sense from my teacher now, that that what I already had was pretty good. And, and even if it wasn't, we would make it work. And she would help me figure out if it wasn't up to scratch, like that I would get it to a point where it would be good. And you can absolutely do classes on a homemade instrument, as long as it's tunable and stuff like that. So you might have to work at it and kind of finesse it a little bit before it's like to that point. And it's good to ask your teacher what size dulcimer before you get, what size dulcimer that you absolutely have to have, and what would they recommend. I appreciated the advice, but it was like everything was hinging upon me having this dulcimer that I'm working on right now. And I felt like it was a lot of pressure for me, because like it was a kind of a lot of pressure for me because like I had just finished making that one, and I got one from Goodwill that sounds absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, so that's just it. I just have to say that, like, just because one person says one thing does not mean like that will be required of you from everybody. And like just because, and like also just because you're not really feeling like super welcomed in one place doesn't mean that you're not super welcomed elsewhere, or that somebody else is willing to work with you and happy to work with you. So, I really shouldn't have 3 dulcimers. Like, I'm willing to sell one of them once I get the blue one tuned up properly, but I don't know. But right now I have to have the one from Goodwill because, yeah. So anyway, how was your day, Dulcidora? So if anybody's wondering, okay, if anybody watches this in replay, we're trying to get more people to come by. On my other channel, I'm like building this instrument. Everybody's like, okay, this is a channel mostly for dolls. Like, I actually do have some ideas for us for doing the doll stuff, guys, but yeah. Puppy training. What is he working on, Sit? Hey, Calf, how are you? Wow, everybody's here. It's funny. I'm putting holes in like my instrument here so we can put the pins and stuff in them, but these are like marking where the things will be. Ugh. Can you move? Oh my gosh, why does it take me so long to do this stuff, guys? I don't even know. Oh. Good morning, starshine. The earth says hello. Oh my god. Oh wow, Katie's here. You guys are all here. It's a happening place. I'm feeling so loved. We're doing our instrument. So on VIP Music and Arts. Yay. So anybody have some pretty good plans for the holidays? Oh. All right. I don't know why this is like taking forever. Ugh. No, I don't have any plans, just chilling at home. Yeah, Ari's sleeping, so I'm kind of hungry, but I don't think she's gonna wake up anytime soon, so. Quiet day. So I don't know if you guys knew that we went to water country the other day. It was really fun. We had fun. Oh. No, already does it. It does sit and wait until you release now walking on a leash. Oh, I see. That's actually really hard. That's like a hard one. I literally had 2 people quit my class, like that I was teaching, because they couldn't get their dog to walk on a leash. Okay. Also, there is times where, as a teacher, you do need to ask somebody to get certain things that are inexpensive, like a leash. Because, like, people were bringing retractable leashes to, like, the class I was teaching. And it was like, okay, like, these are not good. Like, you're going to have no control over your dog. And then they would get mad or frustrated, like, that they weren't getting progress, because they would put, like, their dog in a harness, which encourages pulling, and then they would put it on a retractable leash. So, sometimes, you take a class and you really do need specific stuff, like, so let's just say it. But, so there's that. But, especially if it's, a safety thing. But, like, what I mean by with the class I was going to try to take with the hammer dulcimers, like how much he was charging for, like, the lessons itself, like, just a group lesson. Hey, Pugsley. A group lesson with this woman was like $75, like a group lesson with other people on Zoom, basically, which to me is way too much. Like, what? It makes no sense. Like, you could basically get a private music lesson for $60. So, on Zoom. The couple that wants it lost their vacay home to the fires. It's like super hot in here. Oh, that's not good. There's like so many natural disasters right now. It's like not even funny. Oh, yay. If anybody wants to mod, let me know. I'm not going to ask people, but anybody here who's talking right now is invited. Just because I don't want people to feel obligated, and but I'll mod anybody who's chatting right now. So I don't want people to feel obligated, because I know that it can be a hard job. Okay, thank you. Because it can be a hard job, and I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. This is my heads up right now, that basically one of the trolls has already found us. The biggest troll that we don't want to find me has already found me. on here. So just like giving you guys a little, unfortunately, heads up on that. So at some point this could start to get real messy. So that, just when you think that you might have it easy, it's not going to be an easy job probably. I'm not going to talk about that stuff, but the point is I'm just letting you guys know, like, hey, I did notice that on one of their fake accounts they did find me. So yeah, I'm just letting you guys know. So if it helps you, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I will be honest about what the job entails or what things will look like potentially. Okay, thanks. Okay, so I'm just like, you guys can feel free to feel things out and see if it's something down the road that you're interested in, or anything like that, and give me a idea. But I'm hoping changing things over. I do want my dolly friends to be here with me, but hold on, I'm just trying to find some sandpaper. This is a little too coarse for what I'm looking for. I thought this was like fine. Let's see. It says medium. Oh no. Like this was. All right. Well. I'll have to return these because this is not what I need. Where is my other? Oh, that's good. I found the kit. I went to Pippi's bro. Oh, that's Astral's doll, Pippi Longstocking. Pippi Longstocking. There's like nail marks from dogs on here because of it being in the car and the dog's like standing on it. Oh. So now I'm just going to do some sanding of this thing, and then we are going to stain it like this wisteria color. So I feel like having a fruit salad now. All of a sudden, fruit salad, yummy, yummy. Oh, Soleil. I really enjoy watching you make the instrument cast. I definitely couldn't do it. The wood burning makes them look even more awesome. Oh, thank you. Hey, the art of handmade dolls and stuff. Good morning. Welcome. So I'm basically sanding everything, and I do have to have the directions here. Now I marked all the places where I'm supposed to do that. And okay, there was some part of this instrument that I screwed up. Oh, no, I mean, it's brand new. If you want to be modded, I can mod you. If you want to be modded. I've asked people to just volunteer if they want to. I don't want to put pressure on people to be modded. I don't want pressuring people, So I didn't automatically roll people over because I didn't want people to feel like pressured. Do you know what I mean? Has anyone heard from Sarah from Reborn Candy Cottage? No, I haven't. There's quite a few people on my last channel that I've been missing and I've been thinking about a lot. Like for instance, I used to be friends with Bottle Baby Reborns. Do you guys remember her? And all of a sudden she stopped showing up and I miss her and I don't know what happened. If I hurt her feelings, I feel bad because I really liked her a lot. I would sometimes thank you. I would sometimes feel bad because I would hurt people's feelings, I think. And I didn't mean to. So now I feel sad because I sometimes you don't know what you did or what you said that may have driven people away. I've been thinking about Paige, but she wasn't feeling good and she was in rehab. So, for physical problems that she had, I think she had an operation or a knee issue or something or a hip issue. So, yeah, I haven't. And I take it super personally sometimes because I really like people and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're my family, and then all of a sudden they just disappeared into thin air and I'm like, oh, is she okay? I think about that person. Debbie said she's worried about Sarah. They usually email. Ugh. Yeah, I worry about people like that too. I'm worried about her as well. Yeah. I will be doing some doll stuff. I have some ideas up my sleeve of stuff I want to do. But I don't know. I want to do this instrument making first and then I'll make some videos on the other channel too. I'm very worried. She is a friend of mine and kept in touch time in the hospital. Haven't had replies to attempts to contact her. See, that's the thing about it. Sorry. She goes, and I'm like, just oh my God, I'm really sensitive. Okay. I'm an empath. So if somebody makes that noise, I'm like, what? From which way is the shit gonna hit the fan? Oh, Bottles and Reborn Candy is the same person. Oh, Reborn Candy Cottage. Okay. Guys, if you change your screen name, please let me know because I will be worrying about you endlessly, especially since we all have health issues and stuff. So I'll be like, oh my God. I don't know. So yeah, this was a while ago, guys. We haven't heard from her in for a long time. She had a lot of health issues too, so it worries me. Okay, I'm gonna say it, and I shouldn't say it. I shouldn't drag that into here, but the whole chronic illness movement thing of people I'm sicker than you bullshit, that makes me mad because I've seen it be played and it's two people were both terminal and they're and one of them was oh, I'm sicker than you. And I'm like, she's talking to somebody who's terminally ill, basically. Both people were terminal. And it was and she's like, I'm sicker than you. And it's okay. I mean, it's just so ridiculous. Are we going to fight over whose death is going to be more painful or something now? That makes no sense. Okay, I probably shouldn't say that's too deep, but we think she might be at her brother's. That's what I'm hoping. Yeah, maybe they don't have like good internet. Oh my god. I worry about her. I took it so personal. I'm like, oh my god, did I say something that hurt her feelings? I don't know. And the other thing is the more that the interpersonal conflicts occur, the less and less popular you become, because like you start to, because when you are bickering with somebody, even if it's between you and them, all their friends get involved. So it's like then you lose all of those potential followers. And so it's like bickering is not a good thing. It's ugh. Fighting is not good. I learned it's like I'm glad to be over here to be able to do my art. So maybe they also can't afford Hun. It's so expensive. Oh yeah, it's really expensive. I can't really afford it. Like that's why we're monetized on my other channel. Oh, on the last email, she broke her cell phone. Oh my god, I just thought of an idea. Okay, guys, I was thinking of making a geocache, like a really good one, like one that, I don't know. I saw something about these people who made like the best geocache thing. It was a Doctor Who geocache. And I want to make one like really awesome geocache. A geocache that's like really good. So I don't know. It'd be good. I was going to talk about that. You're really worried. We made and traded Reborns, and I have been in touch. And then, yeah, I think we traded Happy Meal at one point, and then nothing. Thought she was at the Brothers, but told me wasn't going back there because his dog attacked her dog Bixby. You know what? I think it's really important. I'm just going to put it this way, is that if you're a really big YouTuber, that if ever anything happens, then, you somehow put your password somewhere so that your family can notify the community. I'm just going to put it that way. So if anything ever happens to me, I want my family or my friends to come on and like let you guys know if ever that would happen. With health stuff. So if I'm in the hospital, I want people to know, so that way people aren't like, where did she go or whatever like this. Like, you know what I mean? Like I want people to be like, hey, she's just taking care of herself, or something like that. This is actually it goes like this, and the strings go across it. It's like a bridge like that, and like the strings go across it. So you have a safe place for my passwords. Yeah, I do know like on Facebook, if you're in a natural disaster, you can mark yourself safe and stuff like that. So that's good. So something sort of like that on the even if somebody, because to me, it's like we get to know each other so well, and it's like then all of a sudden somebody disappears and like we all worry. Even if, it's even like nice to know, even if somebody's leaving, like I know like it seems dramatic when people are like, well, hey, I'm leaving. But one time I was watching this family vlogging channel, and I really liked it. And then all of a sudden, one day they stopped during the was it adpocalypse or something? All of a sudden they stopped one day, and I was like, what the hell? And I was trying to figure out if they were okay, what happened to their family. Well, I guess because they YouTube had disabled all the comments for family vloggers. They just decided, this is just too much for us. We're just gonna stop. But I think that, they draw you into their life, and I feel like kind of in a way, do you owe anybody anything? I guess yes and no, because it's like we care about their family, we care about them as people. And it's kind of like if your favorite show would just stop and you didn't know why. And it's like, and you worry about people. You think, well, did something happen to them? Are they okay? And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, they showed up and they had a new baby. And they're like, oh, hi. And no, the first thing that happened was that there's this girl, their child, and she reemerged. And I don't know, and she admitted that, or she divulged, not admitted, but she divulged that basically something happened where they had chosen that because, for a while, YouTube was doing things a little different. I guess they didn't like what was happening or something with the comments or not being able to. So they're like, hey, we're not going to do this anymore. And then now they're being a little more open to stuff. So they're coming back, I think, which is good. But that makes me feel a little bad because she talks in her sleep. Most family vloggers need to leave. They exploiting their kids. I actually watch this guy. I think it's called the Dad Challenge or something. I don't know. Something Dad. I don't know. He talks about all these family vloggers and stuff, and it's good because you're right. Some of it can. I think it needs to be out this. Anybody not into the decision of filming, they need to observe that and not film their kids. I mean, it does go too far. I think there's a lot of people who do not. A couple of months ago, Sarah emailed me from the hospital. Oh no, I didn't realize that, Doris. I watched Dad DCP. What is DCP stand for? Dad something. I like him as far as his show, but I do have one problem with what does DCP? I'm sorry, stand for? I forget the name of his show, but he's like Dad something challenge, where he challenges these kind of family vloggers. He doesn't like them. He was a pastor, the guy that I watch, and he really has a hard time with religion. So he can get a little bit mean about religion. And that does kind of bother me, actually. He can be really, like, one time, 8 Passengers is a show that I am not. I mean, I technically am Mormon, and they are too. But I'm not going to lie, like, they are really not good at all. They sent, oh, yeah, Dad Challenge Podcast. That's the one. Okay. I like his show in the fact that he helps spread awareness for not, not exploiting kids, and, like, the family vlogging stuff has gone too far. So there was 8 Passengers, and, there was this one where I guess every day this mother, she vlogs, and she got really in a lot of hot water because one of her son was acting up, so she sent him to like wilderness camp where kids like don't return sometimes. And it's not good. They have to sleep on the floor, and I guess the kid came back and was still acting out. So she took away his room for like 8 months, and she's very strict. Like, she'll put punishments on our kids. She needs a psychologist because she goes too far with things. Like, she punishes her kids like okay, she literally took his bed away, and then people found her saying she was taped. Don't worry. She was taped saying, you're going to lose your privilege of being able to eat one time because like her kids were acting out or something. And so she was like, oh, you're going to lose the privilege of being able to eat your dinner or eat if you continue. And it just like, she like uses, she takes away her children's rights. And, it's kind of abusive, actually, because, like, she's gotten too far. Like, one time she uses food as a punishment, and she's going to end up with children with eating disorders, because that's what's going to happen if you do that. I know because I grew up in a family where they did stuff like that, and I ended up with a severe eating disorder for a while. And I was almost hospitalized when I was in high school. So, I mean, believe it or not. If you guys are wondering what happened, it's medication side effects made me heavy. But when I was younger, I was very thin. And when you use food as a punishment, yeah, she starved her 5-year-old. I wouldn't necessarily say she starved her, but she definitely for a day took her food away. And the school was very uncomfortable with it. I'm surprised. I would be surprised and shocked if Child and Family didn't get involved at this point. Because, when you have that many viewers and you put that out there, because, like, I guess she expected her kid, her 5-year-old, to make her own lunch. And, there's this, like, push to have kids do as much as they possibly can for themselves. And if they can't, so I guess the kid just felt overwhelmed that morning and lied about making her lunch because she didn't want to get in trouble. So the mother was like, so she's like literally going to her kindergarten, and her child did not. I mean, the school was like, she doesn't have her lunch. She's like, well, she was supposed to make it this morning. And that made the teachers feel very uncomfortable. And they were like, well, we feel very uncomfortable about this. That's teacher speak for, we're about ready to call Child and Family Services. Get your ass over here and give your kids some food. So, but she was like, oh, I hope they didn't feed her. And she's just totally like, do your head in La La Land. Because, like, if you're a parent, that's like when somebody says they are concerned or they're very concerned, that you don't just like poo-poo it and just like, oh, like, no, this is fine. Like, if they're calling into question your parenting because they are very uncomfortable, I am very uncomfortable. And she was just like, oh, no, it's fine. And then, I'm surprised that they keep going the way they do. She doesn't give an F about those kids. I know. She's just trying to like I think she loves them because I've seen her holding her kids and being very motherly, but she doesn't know how to parent at all. Like, she doesn't understand like that this is going to get her in trouble. She doesn't seem to have any like sense, or I don't know if she's like full of herself, so she doesn't understand. This is not a normal, it's not normal parenting. And there was one thing where Dad Podcast Challenge was talking about, he was talking about how, she had an accident with the car, supposedly. Okay. She's like, oh, she had an accident with the car. Okay, no, what happened actually was that she didn't have an accident. She was just driving down the road and an accident occurred near her. Most people would keep driving once they see everybody safe, and they would just keep going. But she stops the car and makes a big deal out of it. And she's like, oh, and then she caused her child to have a panic attack. Her little boy was in his little car seat, crying and freaking out because he's a nervous child. And she's making a big deal out of it. And she thinks she's a famous star. That's all she cares about. Yeah, like, remember the one where she was like, she had this accident. I mean, she had this thing with her car, and she was like, that could have been us if we had, that should have been us, but because we prayed this morning, it's not. And so she was like scaring the kids into thinking that because they said their prayers that morning, that, they didn't get into an accident. That makes no sense, because the people who got into an accident may have said their prayers that morning too. It's just that sometimes things happen in life, So, we don't know what God's purpose for us is or whatever. First of all, and then he's like, oh, only a Mormon would be this way. And I'm like, no. Let's just talk about it. So that is one thing that from Dad Podcast Challenge that did kind of bother me, is like, I know because he was dealing with a mega church and he has his own bad experiences, but not every single person is like that who's religious. So the dad is bad too. Yeah, they just let their kid, like, I have seen Mormon families who like are really very strict, but I've also seen some that are not. Mormon is big about family, so you can't always. So there's like this piece right here that kind of, I don't know if we can see, but it like dips down. So I'm just gonna like try to sand that so it doesn't look so obvious. Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, the sun has a lot of problems, but it's like they have like this weird dynamic, So they have like a weird dynamic, and it's not, in my opinion, their son's fault. At first I thought that he was just a jerk because he hung his brother on the basketball hoop thing. But then I realized, like, this is an overall dynamic. Most vloggers are extreme Mormon. They are extreme. I think it's kind of neat to see a different kind of, because in this area it's a lot different than in Utah. I don't know if they're in Utah, but but I mean, I have seen some really strict stuff in like the church I go to. Like, there have been some strict, they've been really strict to some families. Like, one family I've seen was like way strict, like, but that was really weird. Okay, not all of them are like that. Like, literally, it's like anything. Like, some people are strict and some people aren't. Like, I remember I went over somebody's house and they wouldn't let their kids leave their site. And they were like 16, 14. Like, they had to be right there in the room with the parents. They weren't allowed to go upstairs even for more than 10 minutes. Because then the father would, I think he had very severe anxiety. And if his kids like walked away, he would get nervous and start calling their names. And they were like, much too old to be treated that way. Like, if you're 9, 10, 16, 14, you should be able to go off on your own and, not have a parent who's anxious. But it's like anybody. There's some people who have things they need to work on, and And I would say that show is one of those families that need to work on some stuff, you know? I mean, we're not perfect, you know what I mean? And, but I had to say to the dad podcast, you know, I'm Mormon, I wouldn't treat my kids that way. I wouldn't, you know, because it made it look really bad because she was like pulling over and talking to the police just for content. And she was like, oh, you know, she's like, wow, and I could have been in that accident, and her kids were like, oh my God, freaking out so bad. No Life is here in LA. I haven't seen them. I do know there's another show that has a kid named Eve, and they're Mormon. Eve has Down syndrome. She's so cute. I like that family. They adopt and stuff. But no, everybody has like some unique set of circumstances, it seems, and I like to see all different situations. But I don't know. I do think that she does care for her kids and stuff, guys, but it's just like, you can't, I mean, like, nobody's perfect. I get that. But I don't like that extremely strict kind of parenting where parents are like, you know, going to cause their kids severe problems. I mean, her kids have no friends. 8 passengers' kids have no friends. And that's really sad. Like, they literally admitted that they don't have friends because of, you know, what is DCP? Oh, dad, yeah, on FA. What is FA? I'm sorry. Oh, fathering autism. Okay, yeah, I have. So let me just say what I think about that. In a sec. Hold on, I'm trying to fix this first. Yeah, dad podcast challenge on fathering autism. Yeah, so some of the things I agree with and some of the things I don't. All right, so that's done. So some things I agree with and some things I don't about that. If you ask me, because, you know, I do think that sometimes it goes a little far with how he nitpicks at people and just is like, oh, this is, and henpecks them a little bit. But, you know, he raises some good points on some things, like about how Abby doesn't have rights and stuff like that. And like, if they want to tape her, they can. One thing that I thought was a little bit nitpicky was the fact that, you know, she does have people who take care of her, that they have helped her and stuff like that. And I think he said something to the effect of, you know, they don't really take care of Abby themselves and stuff like that. Well, you know, I think that they do spend a lot of time with her despite it. And, you know, if that's what they want to do, they feel it's helpful for her. I don't really see a problem with that per se, to be honest. I don't really see. Summer does it all. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. I mean, it's not the best situation when your parents aren't really super involved, but you do see they do stuff with Abby. So the way I look at it is, you know, it works for them, you know, whatever. Even if Summer does it all, it's like, you know, I look at it this way that a lot of parents would take a kid who is that severely autistic and just put them in a group home or something. But Abby does have a good life as far as she lives, you know, in a nice home with her parents who do love her and do take good care of her, I think, and they make sure, and maybe they are burnt out, maybe they don't want to take care of her as much as they do. But when I look at how many people who have that level of functioning or that level of autism end up in group homes, I think, well, you know, Summer has to do a lot of work and Summer is willing to do that work and Summer gets paid to do it, you know, kind of like realize like it kind of works as far as like the whole thing with them, you know, exploiting her and stuff like that for their show and stuff. Well, that's not like the greatest situation, you know, obviously, but I don't know. I mean, it could be way worse. I've seen way worse. Dad Podcast Challenge talked about this girl who is very inappropriate and her mother encourages her to be that way. And, you know, it's awful. Like, she dresses as somebody who's like 21 years old and she's 14. And I'm more concerned about somebody like that than, you know, bothering autism's kid. You know, it's like, I think it's a little nitpicky to go after like what supports they decide to utilize in their life. Dad does more, but Mom gets annoyed always on her phone and she can't stop them, and that's wrong. I don't know. I did hear about some stuff, you know, that he was saying that he found out in the area, and I did appreciate that because I didn't realize like they opened a store and it wasn't the first of its kind. He like copied it from somebody else who tried to get him to work there, and that kind of upset me. I know I've really seen bad family vlogging issues where the worst I've seen was a family that, and I feel bad about this because I don't want to be like, oh my god, a hater. But there was a family who, you know, they just kept, because of their religion, kept having kids, and they had a room like this size, and they had like 6 beds in there and stuff, and that was bad. In this particular family vlogging show that I was watching, and they were like capsule hotels, like it was like ridiculous. And you know, the bedrooms that they had and the lack of items that they had for the kids was something that was really concerning. Like, they didn't have really any toys for the kids, and they would say, you know, like, you know, to me that's lazy parenting when you say you don't want toys for your kids because they'll make a mess with them and stuff. And like, that's a huge red flag for me, is if a parent's like, oh, like, you're like, why don't they have toys? And the parent's like, oh, because they'll make a mess with them. And it's like, what? You know, they don't even, you know, I just, now, like, and then the mother passed away, and now it seems like the father is doing a way better job than the mother ever did, because the mother was very rigid and would not let the kids have toys because she was so organized and stuff. And so now the father lets the kids play with toys and stuff, and you see them playing with toys and stuff. Like, to me, that is like the worst sign of neglect you can see, is not nurturing your kids as far as their play or they're going to grow up to have serious problems, trust me on this. And if you do that stuff to them. So yeah, I was watching this show, and it was like it was like they weren't. And my guess, I didn't want to be on bad terms with anybody, because like I don't want to, but it did concern me. Like I'm watching this show, and I'm like, I don't know, she's still talking, and they were like saying all this stuff like, oh yeah, we don't have that because like literally the show said functional and practical bedroom, like for her kids and stuff, like just it looked like something straight out of like a sad horror movie or something. Like I'm not even joking, with like like one or two little things, and she was so proud of herself for how everything was so organized. And it's like, you don't need a ton of stuff, but you really need some things for your kids to play with. Like she had like a few little things, but they were like, just shitty broken down stuff, like, a few like odds and ends, basically, like an old yucky stuffed animal that was like this. Like you can't even afford like a decent new stuffed animal for your kids. Like we have to share this one. And then they had like, you know oh my god, I can't even. It's better now, and you can see the father is doing a good job, but man, it was bad. It was hard to watch. Like the bed didn't really have proper. I mean, listen, it's one thing if I don't have proper bedding or my place is a certain way, but the fact that this place was so, like, it was concerning. Like it was literally freaking scary. Like they kept the boys in a darkened basement, what looked like a darkened basement, and they basically these cubby holes for them to sleep in. I'm not even kidding. Like they were, I guess, the size of about a twin size bed, but um it was just dark and just sad, and like the only toys the kids had to play with were Legos in the basement and stuff. And I was like, they didn't have any other thing. And the mother was giving the tour, and she's like, oh, kids will play with anything, so we don't really need any toys for them or anything, because they make a mess. And I'm like, holy crap, like who do these people think they are, like having kids at all, if they're not going to provide the things they need for them, like at all. And I guess it's part of their religion, but still, like, it doesn't matter. Like, your kids matter. Like, you can't be just doing that. That's terrible. And then people are like, well, you don't have kids. It's like, right, there's a reason for that. Like, I'm not gonna make a mistake like this, like these people made, like having tons of kids and like not providing them with basic necessities children need, like to get by, when, oh, obviously I'm not, it's sad because like I watch it and I'm like, I feel like now more of an affinity to that family, because the father has really stepped up to the plate, and I feel like he's doing a good job and stuff, and he's taking good care of his kids. And it's like now they're pissed off because I left like one or two comments that was like really, really snide. Like, what the heck have you done? Like, literally coffin sized rooms for these kids without toys except for like one bin of Lego. I'm like, and they're like, they think I'm just being like a snob or something, and that's not the case. Like, they're, but then I guess there's some episodes I would see where they would go get them stuff from like the dollar store and get them toys there or something, and that to me was like hopeful, because I was like, oh wow, so they do actually have it together, that they do let them play with toys and stuff. But like, when they had organized the toys in the house, they were like, oh, we don't like have toys, we don't like let them. And so that was like a very bad reflection of what they are like, because actually they weren't even really like that. They were just like, they may not have had a lot in the house, but they do like make an effort at least to let them play with stuff. But it's more at their convenience. And that's the thing that really gets me with these parents is like, oh, it's not convenient to like, get off of there. It's not convenient for these parents to let their kids play and be kids. So therefore they're going to like limit their abilities to grow and learn. Kids learn by playing, and toys are basically tools of learning. And if you're like stifling that creativity and not providing something at least for open open play and you know, like something like marble works or shape sorting, or you know, they didn't even have hardly any baby toys at all. Like there was like one episode where they were like preparing for a baby. They don't have any baby toys. They just go to Walmart, basically buy like a onesie, and they're like, okay, we're ready. It was like really weird. I don't know. It was just like really odd. It's really, I mean, at what point do you say something's religious or cultural or whatever, and then what point do you say this goes too far? You know, I don't think that there's anything in their religion that says the kids can't play with toys. So that's the thing. I mean, the mother had OCD so bad that she would not let them play with toys, like most of the time. Like they weren't allowed to have things because they had so many kids that they didn't have room for anything. And it's like, I get that, but you know, maybe you could get a shed, put it outside, and put things in it that the kids could play with, and you know, organize it so they have their toys in a storage shed where they go out and pick their things to play with or something, you know. But you need toys for kids. Like kids need like them, and you know, you could do a rotating schedule of toys. So like you could have their toys in a shed, and you know, they at the beginning of the week on a certain day you pick out which ones they can come with you and pick out which ones they're interested in and bring it to the house, even if they have like, you know, 5 things a piece or something like that, you know. But they need to be able to do that. That's part of your development as a child, is you need these tools. They're tools for learning. They're not just toys to mess things up or make things messy. They're literally like important parts and aspects of childhood and in growth. It's just like ridiculous. And you know, they had viewers who were giving them things. So I mean, I know that, you know, that people would send, I was willing to send stuff too, but I had pissed them off so bad they really weren't gonna be like, hey, like send this stuff. It's so sad because like I guess I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I didn't mean to like piss anybody off, but I guess I was really angry when I saw how like they were just like, did not care about their children's well-being. They cared about their own like organization or convenience. And to me, that's like, you need to figure it out. I mean, okay, there's always going to be like, if I had that many kids, I would really struggle. So I need to realize like, you know, what it must be like to have that many. I didn't mean to hurt anybody's feelings, guys. Like it really bummed me out because they're nice people. Like they're really nice people. And I don't think that it's like malicious. I think that they really think it's in the kids' best interest to be this way because they're like, oh, otherwise it will be a big mess. But like, to me, like sometimes things got to get messy for it to be like fun. I don't know. The vloggers you watch rarely show their kids. Yeah, I do watch a few people who have kids who don't show them. And it's smart. Like at this point, I am very careful about not showing my animals even at this point. I show some of them, but not. Because things are, I don't know. Listen, everybody has a different view as to what's a good thing and what's, I don't think that the thing about Dad Podcast Challenge, I wish that he would not be so hateful towards different religious groups and stuff. But at the same time, I can understand that a lot of the groups that are like this mostly are religious, and because they're trying to do their religious thing, that they kind of seem to sacrifice the kids' care, stuff like that. It's not good. So I can understand, I guess, point, but I just wish that he was a little more open towards diversity. But anyway, guys, I've got to go. Thank you for coming to my chat, and I'll see y'all later. Bye, everybody.